all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in this video, we are going to understand how to create VBOUT contact from new Google Sheets tables row. So are you also using VBOUTs to manage your email campaigns? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here, I'm doing the same. I'm managing my email campaigns with the help of my VBOUT account, and to add new lead details, I use Google Sheets. So now what I want is that as soon as I add the new lead details in my Google Sheets, automatically with the help of the same lead details, a new contact should be created in my VBOUT account too, so that I can create targeted marketing campaigns for all of these leads. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Google Sheets and VBOUT. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So I'm going to create this automation so that I can convert my leads into paying clients. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video, we are going to understand how to create a VBOUT contact from new Google Sheets tables row. So I manage a digital marketing for a company, and we use VBOUT to handle our email marketing campaigns. So now to streamline the process of adding new leads, what I want is that let's suppose that whenever I add a new lead details right over here in my Google Sheets tables, automatically with the help of the same lead details, a new contact should be created in my VBOUT account. So this automation helps us to ensure that our email list is always up to date, allowing us to quickly engage with new leads and improve our marketing efficiency. So to do all of this, I have simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of stars free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with the automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create VBOUT contact from new Google Sheets table row. And then we are going to click on create. And as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action on this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now to start with the automation, we are going to select our trigger application. So for our trigger application, we are going to select it as Google Sheets because I want that as soon as a new row is added in my Google Sheets table, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet rows. And as soon as we are going to select this, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets account and our Pabbly's workflow. So what we are going to do is we are going to follow this help text and copy this webhook URL. So first we are going to copy this webhook URL and then it is saying log into your Google Sheets account. So over here you can see that this is the spreadsheet I want to create this automation for, and I've already opened this. So now after opening this, what we have to do is we have to go on extensions, add-ons, and then get add-ons. So we are going to get an extension to create a connection right over here. So to get this extension, we are going to go on this search apps and search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to open this. And as you can see that I've already installed this extension, that's why it is showing me the option of uninstall. But if you haven't installed this, you are going to get the option of install right over here. And as soon as you're going to install this extension, you have to refresh this spreadsheet. It is a really crucial step. And as soon as you're going to refresh this spreadsheet, you are going to go on extension again. And as you can see, Pabbly Connect webhooks will appear right over here. And as soon as this appears, we have to go on initial setup. And as soon as we are going to go on initial setup, it is asking me for the sheet. And over here, you can see the webhook URL and the trigger column. So as you can see, the name of my sheet is lead. So I'm going to select the same right over here. And now for the webhook URL, we are going to paste the URL we copied from our workflow. And then for the trigger column, it is saying the trigger column will be your final data column. So for me, it is G because this is my final data column. So I'm going to enter G right over here. You have to enter your final data column. And now after entering this, we are going to click on submit. And as soon as we are going to click on submit, yes, you can see setup configured successfully. So this means that we have successfully created a connection between our this spreadsheet and our Pabbly's workflow. And over here you can see that it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission. And in order to do this test submission, what we are going to do is we are going to open our sheets again. And now again from here we have to go on extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and as you can see the button of send on event. So we have to switch on this button right from here, because I want that as soon as an event occurs right over here in my spreadsheet, automatically the details should be sent to my workflow. So yes, you can see that we have successfully switched this button on, and this is also a really crucial step. And now after switching this button on, now we are going to do the test submission. So now for the first name, I'm going to keep it as dummy right over here. So I'm going to enter it. Last name as user. And now I'm going to move on forward for the city. For the city, I'm going to keep it as Bhopal. I'm going to enter it. It is asking me for the email. So I want the email to be dummyuser22@pabblytudes.com. So I'm going to enter it. And then we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the phone number. So I'm going to enter a random phone number right over here. And then we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the source. So I'm going to keep the source as website. And now it is asking me for the status. So as you can see that this is our final data column. So as soon as I'm going to select the status, suppose I'm going to select the status as hot lead. So as soon as we selected the status, yes, we have successfully did this test submission. And this means that Google Sheet has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow, and then Pabbly captured the response for the same. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of this test submission or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see Pabbly has captured a response A. You can see the same details. You can see the status, you can see the spreadsheet name, you can see the source, sheet name. Over here you can see the phone number that we entered, the first name, the last name, the email, and the city that we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what I want is that with the help of the same details, I want to create a new VBOUT contact. So to do this, we are going to add the action step right over here. And now for the action application, we are going to select it as VBOUT. So I'm going to search for VBOUT right over here. And as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. And now after selecting it, it is asking me for the action event. So I'm going to select the action event as add contact to list. And then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your VBOUT account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the API user key. And to get this, we are going to follow this help text, and it is saying go to settings, API integrations, and then API user key. So I'm going to open my VBOUT account right from here, and as you can see that this is my account and I've already logged in it. So it is really advised to log in your applications before starting with the automation. It makes the procedure easy. And after opening this account, what we have to do is we have to go on settings. So I'm going to click on this profile picture, and as you can see settings, so we are going to go on this. And as soon as we are going to open the settings, over here you can see in the left sidebar API integration. So you have to go on this, and as you can see your API key. So I'm going to copy this same API key, and then we're going to paste it in our workflow. So I'm going to see this API key, we're going to copy this API key, and then we are going to paste it over here in our workflow. And after pasting this API key, we are going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save, you can see that we have successfully connected our VBOUT account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the list ID. So to let you know this, again, I'm going to open my VBOUT account, and over here we are going to go on contacts. And as you can see that I have created two lists right over here, new leads from Google Sheets and the sample list. So I want to create this automation for new leads from Google Sheets because I want to add the entries in this list only. So that's why we are going to select the same list right over here, new leads Google Sheet entries. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the email address. So we are going to map this. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm going to give you an example right over here. So it is asking me for the email address, right? So I'm going to enter the email address right over here manually. So suppose I'm going to enter the email address right over here manually, which is dummyuser22@pabblytudes.com. So let's suppose that I'm going to enter it right over here manually. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if we are going to map it from the previous response, over here you can see the same. So we are going to map it. Then this will definitely change with every new response because now we have mapped it and now this field has turned dynamic. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. So now it is asking me for the status. So I don't want to map this field. I want this field to remain static. So I'm going to select it as active right over here. And then we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the IP address. So if you wish, you can definitely add right over here if you have the details of your lead for the same, but I don't have the details. And also this is not the required field. So I'm going to leave it as blank. It is asking me for the first name and last name. So yes, we have these details. So I'm going to map it. I'm going to search for name. And as you can see, the first name. So we are going to map it. We are going to do same for the last name too. I'm going to look for it. And as you can see, the same. So we are going to map it. Again, it is asking me for the email address. So yes, we are going to map it again. I'm going to search for it and we are going to map it. And now it is asking me for the phone number. So we are going to map this too. I'm going to search for it and then we are going to map this. And after mapping all of this, we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, yes, you can see your contact has been created successfully. So this is a positive response and it says that we have successfully created a new contact in our VBOUT account with the same details. So I'm going to open my VBOUT account and check for the new contacts created. So I'm going to open the account and now we are going to refresh this contacts page right from here to check for the new contact created. I'm going to select my list right over here, and as you can see that in my list a new contact has been created, dummy user 22@pabblytudes.com, and over here you can see the phone number too. So yes, with this our workflow is successful and we have successfully created a new contact in our VBOUT account with the same spreadsheet details. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what we are going to do is we are going to open our Google Sheets again, and now we're going to do another test submission with the new details. So now for the first name I'm going to keep it as test, last name as user right over here, and now for the city we are going to keep the city as Indore. So I'm going to enter Indore, and now for the email I'm going to keep the email as usertest@pabblytudes.com. So I'm going to enter it right over here, and now it is asking me for the phone number. So I'm going to keep the phone number as this time, and now we are going to move on forward. For the source we are going to select it as Instagram, and then for the status we are going to select it as home lead. So I'm going to select it, and yes, as soon as we selected the status, yes, we have successfully did this test submission. And now what this means is that Google Sheet has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further created a new contact in our VBOUT account with the same details. So what we are going to do is we are not going back to our workflow this time and click on save and send test request. I'll directly open my VBOUT account and check for the new contact created with the same details. So from here directly we are going to open our VBOUT account, and we are going to refresh this contacts page again to check for the new contact created with the new details. I'm going to select my list, and yes, you can see a new contact has been created with the same details, usertest@pabblytudes.com. Over here you can see the new phone number that we entered. So if you wish, you can definitely see the name also. Over here you can see the name, first name test, last name user, and you can see the name for the dummy user also. You can see dummy user. So yes, with this we have successfully created this connection successfully, and this means that our workflow is successful. So I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. For the trigger application we selected Google Sheets. For the trigger event we selected new or updated spreadsheet rows. For the action application we selected VBOUT, and then for the action event we selected add contact to list, because I wanted that as soon as a new Google Sheet row is added or updated, automatically with the help of the same lead details a new contact should be created in my VBOUT account too. So this automation instantly create an corresponding contact in VBOUT. Also, this automation helps us to ensure that our email list is always up to date, allowing us to quickly engage with the new leads and improve our marketing efficiency. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here you can see the two contacts I created during this video with the help of my workflow. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for a reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.